Hello, welcome back. We've gone from a couple of weeks with no shows to lots of shows in the 1 week. It's great to finally be back on. It's great to finally have a voice that you can hear me with, and slow down my expenses, Vicey polls, because I'm pretty sure I've been the one that's made them all their money all year. We've got James Keith waiting to talk to us tonight. He's got his album out finally, and it's very exciting to have this finally out because I've been working with him over the last few years and he's been super excited. So it's so good it's finally here. We're going to welcome him into the room and see what he's been up to. Hi.
Hey, Danny, how are you? Hey, everybody. I love the intro too. The intro is magic.
I know. Isn't Scott amazing? I'm just so lucky. He growls at me for saying that, but oh my God, he's talented. And has far more patience than I do. He's waving his hands. I can see him down there in the green room. He's got all the controls tonight. Scott's on it. Hi, Kaz. You were first in the room before us even.
Hey, Kaz.
How have you been since Tamworth? We didn't get the time to catch up properly in Tamworth. It was just go, 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 wasn't it? It was so crazy.
Yeah, it was a crazy. I was only there for 4 days this Tamworth, but it was amazing. Just want to say, hey, Kaz, thanks for the album review. It was really great, so I really appreciate that. It was magic.
It was such a good album review, wasn't it? She's so good.
It was good, yeah. But Tamworth was great again. I purposely didn't do any shows this year just because I wanted to really announce myself as an artist next year. I'm already working on my shows now for next year. So, if you do plan to come to Tamworth, come and check us out because we'll be announcing with a big bang next year. But it was great to see up there Danni and the crew and part of the parade, which is really, really cool to be a part of. So thank you very much for that. So that was awesome.
I think one of the memories that I have from Tamworth that stands out in my mind is getting ready for the Golden Guitars with you, Mum, and the twins, and me going, I've got no idea what I'm doing, and Joss just there going, do this and do that, and you helped me get my belt on, and you knew exactly what to do. Like, thanks for dressing me because I wouldn't have had a hope.
Well, I'm a boy, and I'm just used to kind of making do what we've got. So we didn't have a lot of time. Like, quick, find another hole in the belt. And,
just too big, get something to put a hole in it, and then we'll sticky tape it if we have to. Oh dear, it was a fun moment. I think at one point even the boys thought I was on the toilet in front of them, and I really wasn't. I was just trying to put my shoes on. It was fun. It was a really fun. It was a great Tamworth, and it was a fun night at the Golden Guitars, wasn't it? It sure was, wasn't it? I got to meet your brother at the Golden Guitars. I hadn't met Robbie until then, and I walked up to him and he turned around and I'm like, I know who you are, and I introduced myself. And it's funny because we've obviously been at so many shows together, but never at a point where we could say hello and I could say, hey, I'm James' friend. So that was really cool as well. Yeah, no, he's done really well in his own kind of his own right lane. Yeah, and he's got some really good songs coming out. I've heard them this year, so follow him along too. He's gonna be big. But you both have a very different sound too, which is something that I like. Like you're brothers, and you definitely care about each other, but you're two very different artists in your own right. Yeah, we really are. I will one day, Kaz. Don't worry, I'll be down there for sure. But look, and that's a good thing about. We played in a band together for a long time, but we are different artists. We've got different sounds, different inspirations, I suppose. So even though it's like we're in the country genre together, it's what the country's like. It's such a thing. So but it's great to have your support too. We've always supported each other really, really well. So that's a really important thing to do in music, in life, really. In life, exactly. And I think another one of my favourite moments too was Marcelo your manager, he was there, and we got to have Marcelo on the show and to catch up. Even the Golden Guitars, where I got to spend some time with Marcelo, it was so nice to just. I mean, how many times have we all been in Zooms and all been on the computer, but not actually in the same place at the same time? I think that's probably why Tamworth means so much to us. But it was really lovely. Because you haven't met him, you would be like me. You've met him a few times, but it's so rushed.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. It was, and I like people. I like being next to people and feeling that energy from people. And we're kind of losing it in society a little bit these days, with everyone's on their phones and that kind of stuff. Which that's just the way life is. But when you do get to have that human interaction, I really thrive on that. I really do. So that's why I love playing live and getting out there and meeting people and just general human interaction, which I think is really, really important.
100%. It's so important. And actually you do thrive off that. You do. You feel, and you can feel that in your music too. I can feel that in your interactions. I think for me, sitting back over, it's probably 18 months now that we've been waiting to release this album, maybe even more. And watching that. And I think for me, it feels so strange to be sitting here talking to you about Life is Good Today, the whole album, when I know what you've been working on, and it feels like it's finally here. It felt like it took forever to come, and now I'm like, I can't wait for the next lot because I just know where you're headed. How good does it feel to finally get this body of work out?
Yeah, it really does, Danni, and I know, I've showed you, a while ago, and I'm a very impatient person. I just love, getting things out. Natalie Wallace helped me a lot, and I've had some, good people kind of in my corner. I had to take their advice and sit on the album for a while and just release singles because, as you said, I've only been doing it for a year as my own sort of stuff. So, and I'm glad I did that because had I have put the album out, I wouldn't be anywhere near where I am today. So that's thanks to your help as well, and everybody you meet along the way. Like very, very grateful of everybody's support. And at the end of the day, that's your support is people who. They're the ones who spread your music and all that kind of stuff. So it's just, very, very sort of humbling. And then to bring the album out and to go to number one, as my debut album is just, it's very humbling, and it's a really nice kind of reward for all the hard work that, us musicians put on behind in our sheds and behind closed doors to finally get the music out.
100%. I think when I saw that number one, for me, there was just about a tear there because I have known how hard you've been working over the last 12 months, and to see that finally happen, it was a very proud moment and well-deserved moment too. You've worked really hard behind the scenes. You've not only entered as a new artist, as in a new solo artist, but you've had injuries to overcome. You've had you've had to go, well, what sort of production do I want? This is the sound that I had then. Where do I want my sound to go before we even got to hear that original sound? So it's been a massive year for you. And then we sat there and we said, you can't release an album. You're not releasing an album. You're like, but I've got an album, but you're not releasing it. I
know. And I've almost got another album ready to go, which is as you said, next level. I've been working with Matt Fell. But look, as I said, it's and I really appreciated Kaz's her review because I wrote the album as a traditional album, and there are hidden gems in there that you don't normally get if you just go to singles and singles and singles. So this album has a real story from it, from start to finish, and they're all linked in a really cool way. And as I said, I was really appreciative of that, Kaz, because. There really are hidden gems, and if you listen to it the whole way through, you go, oh, that song's linked to that one, and that one's got a bit of that in it, and it's all So, and that's country as well. It's just relatable music. It's just people. That's why people love country.
100% it is, and exactly right. It's relatable music, and there's a sound in it for everyone. We have such a broad. Just look at you and Robbie, two completely different sounds, but both country.
That's right.
And that's the point of it. And I think with you also, like sitting right now, where you're sitting right now, you're in your warehouse, which you have turned into your music studio, and your home, just so that you can work on music and let more music out for the rest of us. We don't get to see those behind the scenes moments where we sacrifice very important things in life just to bring a song to somebody. It's huge.
Yeah,
Huge.
it is, and you know, from the creation of a song all the way to when you hear it, you know,
Yeah.
it's like a baby. It grows and it grows and it grows and it just. But yeah, I mean, you know, like anything, you've got to be dedicated. You've got to really have a passion for it. And at the end of the day, Danny, I just love making music. Like music to me is just such a powerful tool, and you know, I'm getting some really deep and personal messages from fans and that, which I put up today on my socials. But just it is the power of music's an incredible thing, and
Yeah.
I always look at the positive side of any situation, and they're really I genuinely believe that even through the hardest times of adversity or whatever, there's something blossoming like in there somewhere, and you just got to find it.
Just got to find it. You got to look hard sometimes, and it takes a while to show, but it's there. It's always there.
Like my journey, as you said, like with you know injuries, and I've had so many setbacks, but and I saw this Ed Sheeran video the other day, and it's like, you know, you learn nothing from success. You've got to have failures. You've got to, but nobody talks about it, you know. So I said, I'm in a warehouse here, which I've converted into a, you know, a kind of like music studio, I guess, and I'm about to start doing live streams from here and getting bands in and other acts, and so I've got a really good vision of where I want to be and what I want to do. But at the end of the day, I just do it because I love doing it. It just makes it. It is good medicine, as it really is.
100%. And I think that was probably one of the first things when I first met you was that you just are doing it because you love it, and that to me was. And as we were saying before we went live, it's that package. And sometimes it's the voice and the singing is quite often the last thing that makes you an artist, because you've got to have that package. You've got to have that love for it and belief in what you're making and what you're doing.
That's
and
right.
You don't do anything by halves. You go all in, and it's all of you.
Yeah, that's right. And that's kind of where like my sort of songs come through too. It is just generally from the heart, you know. And then you know, if people listen to it, it taps their heart as well. So, you know, if you try to be someone you're not, you know, you get found out pretty quick. But you know, if you stay true to yourself and you just, you know, you just love doing what you're doing, then you know, people will eventually gravitate to it.
Exactly, they will, 100%. Now, I was listening again to the album on the way to work this morning, because I always say, you know, I have a favorite song. Do I have a favorite song on your album at the moment? I think mine is always going to be Life is Good Today, because that's the first song I heard from you. And the first message that I ever got when I spoke to you was, that is genuinely true for your every single day. That's what you put into it. So I think that will always be one of my favorites, and probably the one I love, the film clips where we get to see you and a bit of you in it, and understand who you are. And then you go like to You Say I Do and all of that, where they're real true stories. I think it's very hard. Do you have a favorite song on the album at the moment?
Look, it's a hard question, because I genuinely do love them all. Life is Good Today is really special to me, because that is the song when I went to Nashville in 2011. I wasn't a big country fan then. I told you before. I love Australian rock. That was where my heart was, great, you know, playing guitar. And I never listened to lyrics in a song. I honestly didn't. They were just a melody. They were just notes. You know, I know every drum beat and snare hit and bass line and guitar riff. And any musicians out there will know what I'm talking about. But then, Life is Good Today was a song, Toes by Zac Brown Band, and it's got the lyrics "Life is Good Today" in it. And that was the first. Honestly, I could sing you 500 songs and not have a clue what I'm singing. But that was the song. Toes by Zac Brown. I was just like, Life is Good Today. I was like, man, what is that? I've got to find out more about this. And then I got right into Zac Brown, and then that's kind of where my love of started to write songs and understand what songs actually meant.
Yes.
not just side. So that's the Life is Good Today, you know, album and single is kind of a testament and a thank you to Zac Brown Band for really opening up my, you know, knowledge of music and what lyrics mean, and really got me started writing music. So that's, and look, there's a song on there, number 10, called Love of My Life, and that's about my 3 kids. And you know, it's just a really beautiful song. I made a little home video. You know, my kids are my world, absolute world. I've got 3 beautiful kids, and you know, I went out and got the CDs made, and they didn't even know what a CD was. So we went out and bought a little portable CD player, and Marley, my second daughter Marley, when she first got it, and I swear to God this is true, for 6 months every single night she would put the Love of My Life song on, and play it till she goes to sleep. It's just a really beautiful song about my kids and they're the loves of my life.
And you spend so much time with your kids, and I love that you share that a bit too with your fans. You do put little videos on there, and they have so much meaning to them. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about you. You're not frightened to show people what you care about, and you're not frightened to say, hey, bad things happen, but it's still a good day.
Yeah. And that's what Life is Good Today is all about. That it's like, seeing you waking up next to your kid, or just, it could be anything. Like, there's so many good things, and unfortunately, like, bad news sells, and all these negative things around the world. And so 3 years ago, I don't watch any news. I stopped watching reality TV. Not that I watch much anyway, but
I'm sitting there watching reality TV.
But I started putting that time into me and really, self-develop, what I've got, and I've done that, and my life is really fulfilled now, because I do, cherish the moments that really mean a lot to me, and I leave all that negative and other stuff behind, because it's not going to make me a better person.
No, 100%. I think, do you think your time in the sporting world taught you that as well? Because, you've grown up in a family that's well into the sporting industry, and you've seen different things. Do you think that's helped you to learn to focus on the positives?
It's a good question. Look, I suppose, like, you got to be disciplined, in playing rugby league, but I don't know if that helped me with the positive. I think it's just,
that's you.
It's just me. Yeah. I mean, in saying that, I've been through a lot of hard things, as everybody has, and rather than, I'm a bit of a fighter. Like, I've been set back since I was, 10 years old, but I just keep getting back up and going. Yeah. And then it's probably just my life lessons. My dad was coach when I was under 18s, and, you think you're pretty good back then, and you walk around, you look at your own shadow and whatnot. And Dad dropped me, and every morning for 6 weeks, I'd go with my fullback Adam Ford, and we'd run. We'd wake up 6 in the morning and we'd go run hills, and I had to earn my way back in that spot, and we ended up winning the grand final that year. We were the underdogs, but just really, setbacks, like literally setbacks. To answer your question, is everything that I've fallen short on, I've learned, I've figured out a way to do it, and there really is a positive in every situation. I go back to when I separated from my beautiful wife Kimmy. That was the hardest decision of my life, and I was the one who made the call. And out of that, I wrote an album called Life is Good Today, and it just went number one. Like, it's just everything that's happened. There is a positive in every situation.
Yeah. And I think that really important to that too is you and Kimmy have a really good relationship. You are great. You still do everything.
We do.
Kids 100%. And I mean, I haven't met Kimmy. I hope one day I get to. But you and her, you talk about her in such a positive light, and I think that is another testament to how your mind works and why you do what you do.
Yeah, you're right. Look, at the end of the day, we've got 3 beautiful kids, and this is hopefully this is a lesson to anyone going through a hard situation like that. Is we just put our kids first. We put ourselves in our kids' position, and they need a mum, they need a dad, and we because of that mindset that we've got, and I broke Kimmy's heart, and I was heartbroken as well, like we spent 10 years together, but we are so good now. We are so good now, and we do everything together. It's not like here you have them, like we'll go to swimming carnival and I'll send her 10 videos during the day, and just to keep each other in the loop. And it really works because we've had that mindset of like, okay, well, this is the way it is. Let's make the most of this situation. And, there is a big lesson to be learnt there. And I've actually I've written a song about it, which I'll showcase later in the year about, just, basically put your kids first because they need that.
They need that. And that's the thing. We've got to remember that they do need that, and that's something that is hard to do when you've got emotions tied up in it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I see that in everything you do. You recently came down to Tassie. How good was Tassie? I mean, it's a beautiful state.
I absolutely loved it.
It is. That was your first trip down here, wasn't it?
No, I've been there before for a wedding about 10 years ago, but I know you've been talking up Tassie for a long time, and I'm working with Matt Fell, who's just an incredible person, musician and producer, and he's kind of like understanding what's in here without too much guidance, really. So I spent 3 days down there at Wilder, Tasmania, which is his little oasis down there. I saw Andrew Farris was just down there on the weekend. It's just a beautiful part of the world, and it was just 3 days of just full immersion. Stayed at these incredible little cottages around the area, and just sat with Matt and just got to know each other. Because that's a big thing, a lot of people can send their songs away, but if you really kind of get to know somebody and just kind of get it in the same room and just kind of share those thoughts, some magic happens. And I've got, my whole next album is Matt Fell, and I've been working on, I'm really, really excited because it's another level up. I've learned so much in a year, and I'm just, I'm just throwing everything at it because I love it so much.
And you love learning. I love watching you. You're like, oh, what can I learn about this? And I think that's something that you're always going to do. But I remember when we were sort of going, well, who are we going to get to produce your music? And the more that you talked, the more that I listened to your songs and where you wanted to go, the more it was like, Matt Fell's definitely the guy where you're sitting at now. And whether that stays that way as you evolve, your music can change. And that's okay, because you can change producers and you can go backwards and forwards and do different things. But where you were at the point that you were writing some of these songs, I think Matt Fell was a perfect fit.
Yeah, and thank you, because you're the one who put me in touch with him. Hey, Eliza. You're right. It's it's just I like country, but I love that rock aspect, and I also love synth too. So I'm kind of making my own country sound.
Yes.
I love performing songs. I love big sounding songs, big production, and so this is it's a little bit different to my first album, but I really feel I've gone up a level in terms of songwriting and production stuff. Stay tuned, because I've got some really big plans this year.
You're going to love everything that James has got coming. But the other thing that I've been quite enjoying you do is you and everyone says to me when they see these things, you music people, you're a different bunch, is what I hear a lot. But you have been doing the guess this song kind of thing. You'll play the drums, then you'll add that in, and then you'll start playing another, and you add it in, and tell me what song I'm playing. People have been loving that, and you've been enjoying that. You can see you're just playing when you're doing that. You're just having a ball.
I love making those, because that happened when I had my second throat surgery. I couldn't talk, couldn't do anything. No. So I'm like, I've got 7 days here, I can't do anything. Let's and I just started making it, and I do Michael Jackson, I do Queen, I do Shania Twain, I do a bit of everything. So, and it's really really kind of interactive. It's really done well for me, because people are like, they get involved in it. So, and it's just a cool way also to show how a song is really built. Yes. And I did an INXS song, and I remember watching Andrew Farris. I just love Andrew Farris, his songwriting, that kind of side of his songwriting, and just to see how a simple little drum beat, and then a little keys, and then a little whatever, little anything, just, and you see it building, and you go, oh my God, that's that song. And because when you listen to a full song, it's hard to listen to different elements unless you train that way. It's just a sounding song, where if you break it down that way, people go,
that's what I like. Hear it.
It's fun. So I booked in for another. I was just talking to you before. Got another surgery, which is hopefully the last one in 6 weeks. You can hear my voice going a bit now, and I'll be making the next round of them.
That I cannot wait for, because it is lots of fun, and it also keeps you a bit gig fit as well. Like it does, you know, it keeps you playing, it keeps you doing other things, and it's just a bit of fun. Melissa said, loves your album and well done on
Thanks,
it.
Melissa.
Absolutely.
Honestly, really appreciate everybody's support. It's just been lovely.
Tell us in the comments, everyone, what's your favourite song on the album?
Yeah,
because it'd be interesting to see what it is that people like, what sound. But wait,
actually, on that too, Danny, that's good kind of feedback that I've been getting. Like everybody's picking different songs, which is cool. Which is cool because it kind of shows that, you know, they're all kind of resonating with someone at some sort of stage. So it's that's been a really, really positive feedback from the album. Is people are all picking different songs, which is great.
Yeah, 100%. And I love that too, because it means that you've got something there for everyone, don't you?
Yep,
like,
right.
You know, and the more music you do, the more people are going to start relating to it, because the more they get to know you and where your thoughts are at when you're performing, when you're singing, when you're writing.
Yeah.
Is there a process? Because, you know, this is your first album and this is your first full album release. Has there been any processes in it that have really shocked you, how much you've got out of doing it and releasing it?
Well, look, I suppose you know, I really came in green. I knew nothing about the music industry. And I was about to release my album before I met Natalie Waller. And because one of my favorite bands is Matchbox 20. So, and we did a cover band show. So I was like, sweet, release the album. And then going back to Matchbox 20, they released Real World off their first album 3 years later. So I was like, okay, that's what you do. And I was literally about to do it. So I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing about it. You know, I'm not trained musically. I'm just a bloke who can play the guitar and just.
You taught yourself, didn't you? Did you teach yourself?
I had 6 months of lessons with Rob Bartlett in Orange and Cedric Inman, actually another 6 months when I was 8 years old. But then just kind of, just through loving music, and, you know, John Williamson was a big, we used to love John Williamson, so just start to play his songs. So I pretty much am self-taught, you know, the majority of it. But so I was never went to music school or anything like that. It was just, just kind of picked it up along the way. So now in the industry, I'm literally failing, and then I'll learn another way, and then I'll fail, and I'll do something else. So
you haven't failed. That's the beauty of you. You haven't failed because you failed,
but setbacks, you know, and
setbacks and something that hasn't worked. We'll find another way. We'll make it work. But I think that's the thing with you. You always find a way. And, you know, there's quality in what you do because you care about it. When you wrote this album, you had no intention of even recording it, did you?
Well, it was supposed to be for my brother Robbie and our band, because, you know, that's kind of because I thought I couldn't sing, you know, like, I had no voice, you know. So then when the band knocked it back, they said, we don't want to do country. It just wasn't the right time. So I had these 13 songs, and I was like, I was gutted. That was a setback. And I was just like, man, what am I going to do? Like, I've got worked so hard, wrote this album out of adversity. I was like, nah, you know what? Stuff, I'm going to do it myself. And that was the start of James Keith. Really, that's how it all started. So you know, I wrote all the songs by myself. I didn't even know people co-wrote songs. That's how green I was.
Yes, I know. You were so green, but it was so good.
And I still, that's probably worked in my favor a little bit too, because I just love what I do, and there's nothing's too big or too hard or whatever. I just, you know, it's kind of like, it probably works in my favor a little bit, being green, and just really just putting energy and love and passion into everything I do, and it's
100%.
You know, it's working.
It really is working. Now, can people still get a hard copy of your album or any of your merch? I should have had your t-shirt on. It's actually it's on the clothes horse. It's always on the clothes horse.
I've sent and Eliza, hopefully you've got yours by now, because I sent her a little stubby holder and a shirt and all that last week. But yeah, I've ordered another 100. So we've sold the 200, which has been phenomenal. And I personally sign every one. And you can, if you head to my website, which is just jameskeith.au, I've got another 100 on the way. There it is.
Another 100. Wow. And if you want to now, it should work. If you want to use that QR code, you should be able to scan it from the screen. So have a look and see if it works. Let us know in the comments if it works, because it worked for me.
Cool.
So, if head to the website. when you can, and make sure you order something because it's all good merch.
Yeah, and also too, like even if you don't want a hard copy, like even just going onto your all those where you're streaming music and just saving the album really helps. You know,
Yes.
me and every artist that you like. You know, we're all we're all. I was just saying that favorite one because he's playing for the Roosters. Yeah, I'll tell him that, Kaz. He'll love that. 2013 grand final. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's if you can just, as I said, every save or like or comment really helps us because I'm independent. We do it all ourselves, and so it's it's all part of it.
Absolutely,
Liza, that's awesome.
Oh, that's fantastic! You've got it
tomorrow night. I love it.
Have you still got your amazing t-shirts? Because they are really nice.
I do, yeah. I've only got a handful left, so I'm going to do another, probably
another
another run when I'm going to slightly change it up, you know, as the kind of new material comes out. So, you know, it's funny, like, Mum went to a swimming carnival in Cowra, and she's like, "Oh, someone's wearing your JK head out there." So it's really cool.
That is cool. It's so good to see your own merch faces when you go places, isn't it? And yours is really cool. I know that like there was the story, you know, how you guys designed the JK and but I like it because it's a really clear logo and it's really easy to see, but it's still creative.
It's simple, but it's creative. And it's kind of like it's kind of mysterious. It's a JK.
Oh, have we frozen? Maybe. I think we have. I think we're frozen. That's all right. He might come back in a moment. We'll pop him down into the green room. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm back now.
We got you back. It just froze for a minute. I was just saying about your logo and how that all came about. But you were talking about changing it up. That means new merch, new songs, new merch.
Yeah, new songs, new merch. Just kind of updating my brand a little bit. I'll keep the JK. I love the JK logo on the hats, but yeah, we'll just tweak little things and evolve as the music evolves.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so exciting. So if we want to follow you and keep up to date on everything music, what's the best platform that people can follow you on?
Yeah, so look, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. This is just James Keith Music. Yeah, I'm pretty active in there, and I really do like to. You know, I went to a Tony Robbins seminar last year, and he's like, create raving fans, and you get that from following people back. So I really do follow people back now. I'm quite interactive. If people comment, you know, I do really appreciate the support, and I like to support people who support me. So, you know, a simple follow back, and you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, is thanks, Kaz. I love that.
I do too, and my shirt. Yeah.
So James Keith Music. You know, I'm pretty active. I like to show my personality on there as well. Don't just push songs. As you said, I got my kids on there. I do these looping videos. I do other videos. They're just kind of all relevant to you. Me loving life and being positive and you know just just being me.
Just being yourself. And I think that's what we love about it is that we get to know you, we get to know the songs better as well. And I remember you telling me when you went to the Tony Robbins thing, and I remember how inspired you were coming out of that. Yeah. It really did. It gave you another lift. For someone who's always so well driven and so inspired by life in itself, you came out of that so well. It was great. You really enjoyed that 3 days, did you?
Well, so when I separated from Kimmy, like I read his book, and I haven't read many books in my whole life, and I just made me read it. And he was the one who, like, what that book was the one that made me set goals. And you know, as long as you're always giving and you're growing, you feel alive. You know, you really do. So I'm actually going to Miami in December this year to his date with Destiny. He's really changed my life. He's just given me, it's awesome. It's all I can say.
He's the only one in that room, doesn't he?
He really does. And you know, if I can walk on fire, 12-foot fire, and I mean dead set fire, and not feel a thing, then it's all up in the head. Like the power of the mind is incredible. So, yeah, I just love I love giving back. I love, growing and learning, as you said. And I just, I love being positive.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And you definitely are. Thank you so much.
You've helped me along the way. We met about a year ago, and you've just been a huge support to me, and you really have. I remember Tamworth last year, and you take me all the shows, and with your mum.
Yeah.
Part of the parade this year, like that all helps. Really, I'm really grateful for all that. All your help. I mean, I wouldn't be anywhere near without you either, Danni. So, and I genuinely mean that. So,
thank you.
Yeah,
I've loved every.
We're building a good team, and it's love everybody to come along for the ride because we're just starting.
We're just starting. Exactly right. We're just starting. And you know what? We came third in the parade.
Yeah, I know.
That day. How good was that?
It was fun. It was really fun. I was lucky I had the air conditioning. I was in the car.
You were so lucky. We got
your mum around doing all the bands and everybody contributed so well. It was fun. It was lots of fun.
It was lots of fun. We ran out of armbands. We had bands to hand out, the rubber armbands, and we had the Bonas brothers. We had Aaron Jerd, James Keith, and Country Kickback all on the one band. And I don't think we'd made the first corner. We were out of them, and we had photos to give to people. It was so much fun. It was so hot. You and Callum rode on the back of the ute, and you drove the ute. The rest of us were pretty much cooked for the whole day. And Callum, we got back to the hotel room, and he looked at us all. He said, "I don't know what's wrong with you all." Yeah, of course you don't.
Hey, Clint, you're a good mate there, mate. How are you? Good. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for coming back and joining us, James. It's so good to see you. I can't wait to see what this year brings. We've got lots more to come. And Tamworth next year, guys, get your tickets quick, because I don't think that they're going to take long before they sell out as soon as they're on the market.
I'm going to busk. I'm going to do shows. I'm going to support. You'll see me next year because I'm planning it already. So as I said, thank you so much, Danni, and everybody who's tuning. I'm very humbled by the support, and as I said, it's only the beginning.
It's the beginning. Keep an eye, because James is one to watch. When he says it's the beginning, he means it. Thank you so much. We will be back next week with more shows. We've got shows on Wednesday, shows on Thursday. They're coming thick and fast, actually, at the moment. Thank you, Scott, for running everything behind the scenes, and for the new. How cool are the new intros and outros? He definitely blew my mind when I watched those last week. So keep an eye, because Scott's always got little tricks coming up as we go. Well, thanks, James.
Thank you. Thanks, Danni.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
See you next week.